Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I'm unboxing the Honor 200G. Let's get started. Previously I had shown you the Honor 200 Pro, but this is the base model of this series that retains much of the design and essence of this family, so I see it as a better option, especially because the price is much tighter. In this case, in Mexico, it has had a launch price of 10,999 pesos. I must say that they also include these wireless headphones in this special package with the same price. So that's why I insist that it is a much more attractive version. They also offer you 2 years warranty, which always comes in handy to have a little more protection for your investment. So let's take this device out of the box. As you can see, these are the headphones that include Honor Choice Open Air True Wireless Earbuds. Its name is very long, but here the novelty is that they are not headphones that have ear cushions and that are completely inserted into your ear, but instead keep a slightly more open format to keep track of everything that's going on. This we will discuss in a separate video, but you should know that it comes integrated along with the Honor 200, although this obviously in some stores. In other stores they will only give you this device and at the same price, so I think it is better to look for where they give you these headphones. Okay, now let's take the device out. And here I already have in my hands this edition that is in white moon color. The truth looks very nice. It is one of the best designed devices, I think. As for its back cover, the camera module is quite original, although personally I do not love it. But admittedly it does not look like other devices, so in that sense it looks quite original. Let's turn on the device, and while it turns on we see what else is in the box. And we find directly with the key to remove the SIM card tray, and here inside we're going to find also quick guide sheets and these kind of details. And finally we also find a case, which is good news, although it is a simple case. Watch, it comes with a completely transparent finish. It is completely flexible with semi-rigid edges, but simple. Even so, it is always appreciated they include all this, and considering that they also include headphones, the combo becomes even more attractive. Although I insist, personally I would have liked more to see a case with a slightly more sophisticated design, considering that the design of the device is very nice. Notice that when we put the case on, it changes aesthetics completely, because now it reflects much more light. And in general, I don't like these reflections that occur. So without the case, it looks much nicer. Let's see what else is in the box. And we find the charger, which is 100 watts with USB port. It is still not so modern in this sense. The cable will obviously be from USB-A to USB-C, also with these highlighted in orange to easily distinguish it. It is definitely a very powerful charger. We will have to put it to the test to see if it really gets to take advantage of the 100 watts, as we have tested other chargers that have not had such a difference compared to other models, but we must also consider that it is a considerably large battery than in testing. I think we will have more certainties. For now, we are taking a first look at the specs, so let me put this away. I already have the device configured here in my hands, and the truth is that in design and in feel it is very similar to the Pro model. I think that's a good thing, since the difference in price is quite noticeable. It is 7 millimeters thick and weighs 187 grams. In that sense it's quite comfortable, considering that we're also going to find a slight curve in the back cover. So the grip is quite comfortable. The screen has 6-7 inches in its diagonal. It offers us full HD resolution, and in this case we are also going to find a high refresh rate. To be exact, it goes up to 120 Hz. Obviously we are talking about an AMOLED panel that meets perfectly in the price range. It also has very thin bezels. That is definitely something to highlight as one of its most attractive points at the design level. Even note that the screen comes with several curvatures that make it quite comfortable. This at the time of making some sliding, although note that it comes with a factory glued mica, which is obviously appreciated because it gives you a good level of protection. But when you have that mica glued, this smooth experience that we are supposed to have at the time of sliding is greatly impaired. We will find 2 speakers, one at the bottom and one at the top, in conjunction with a headset for calls. It is excellent news to find stereo sound. since Honor suddenly gave us mono sound even in this series. But it is good to know that from this base model, we already find stereo sound. By the way, note that it also includes a remote control application because this top part also has infrared, so you can use it as a remote control. Universal, simply just set the make and model of your device. The front camera is 50 megapixels with aperture f2.1. Although with fixed focus, and before we go to give you a look at the results, I want you to note that it also has this element in the user interface. And note that while in the preview it looks a pretty burnt result, the end result I think gives us some nice processing. We're going to find good balance of highlights and shadows. I would love to see autofocus, although I understand that in this price range it is not yet something we can fully demand. So selfies I think will come out well on first impressions. And on the back we will find three cameras. First, the main camera, which is 50 megapixels with f-aperture 1.d5. Also has optical stabilization. The truth is that in the aperture we could even say that it falls a little short. We will see in the video review how it performs in night photography. Then we will find the ultra-wide camera, which also has macro capabilities, is 12 megapixels with f-aperture 2.2. Obviously, to have macro capabilities has autofocus. And finally, the 50 megapixel telephoto camera with f2.4 aperture. It has optical zoom 2.5x approximately. The truth is that in this price range, it is not so common to see telephoto cameras, so it is an excellent addition. It seems to me that it has a good photographic system, without marketing cameras or ornamental cameras. There you are seeing on screen the results that these cameras give us. First, with the ultra-wide camera, we see good image quality. I think overall it delivers. The main camera is also going to give us a good image quality in color. It is very similar to the ultra-wide camera. I like it and it has good detail. Then notice that the device allows us to have a crop on the sensor to give us 54mm perspective shots, still maintaining good quality detail. And then with 68mm, we jump to the telephoto camera, which by the way gives us a slightly paler color. We will have to put it to the test in more circumstances, but for now the color has not convinced me so much, although the level of detail has. Obviously of a good quality mid-range zoom. Now you're looking at the 6x zoom approximately, and I think in this respect it still maintains very good image quality. In fact, I would say this is the maximum zoom, where the image quality is still very high. Now with 270mm you're looking at the 10x zoom photograph. In this case, if you don't zoom in, it still looks like a good photograph. If you apply a little more zoom to notice details, it's immediately noticeable that it's digital zoom, but it maintains a good experience still at this level. Here you're looking at the 30x zoom, where I think it's more noticeable digital zoom. This I would consider this should be the honest maximum zoom, although the device still allows you to go all the way to 50x. But I think the result already looks too forced. Still, I think for price, the photographic system really delivers with very good quality. It's been a device that I've really liked in this sense, and especially that telephoto camera, you're going to be able to take advantage of a lot for portrait photography, which remember, it comes in collaboration with Hardcore, a studio in Paris. And Honor has done a collaboration with this studio to use several of their portraits and train their artificial intelligence to give very similar results in terms of the lighting and retouching. Then there are three modes for portrait photography that I think you're going to really enjoy. For video recording, note that the front camera can record in 4K, but only at 30 frames per second, and on the back we will also find the same. 4K at 30 frames per second as maximum quality. Unfortunately, the ultra-wide camera is capable of recording in K as well, and so is the telephoto camera. So it has good recording capabilities. The battery is 532 mAh, supports 100 watts charge, and the charger is included in the box. In this case, something to note is that it does not bring wireless charging or reverse wireless charging, are things that we cannot demand in this price range. Although there are some competitors who begin to incorporate it. Also, something positive is the storage that comes with 256 gigabytes just turned on. When I activated it, I had 22.13 gigabytes used. This version comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM, although the version with 512 storage is accompanied by 12 gigabytes of RAM. Also, remember that Honor has its turbo RAM technology, which within all the devices I have tested, this RAM is the one that does work. Other devices may promise you virtual RAM and it doesn't really work. In this case, I have noticed that it is optimized. And finally, the processor is the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. A processor that for the price is very good. In this case we have the Geekbench scores in single core reached reaches 1140 points and in multi-core 3164. I think it gives good power, although it will not be the most powerful of the range. But it is a very good processor that overall achieves a very balanced device because it does not sacrifice anything camera. Does not sacrifice battery, does not sacrifice screen or sound. Everything is pretty good with respect to graphics power in Antutu got 787.3. 127 points, which I think confirms that we are not in front of a device that is ultra powerful in terms of game processing or something similar, but still, as I say, it's going to give you a very good experience unless you're one of the most demanding in terms of graphical compatibility of games. But generally, devices that focus a lot on games in this price range are going to make other important sacrifices. For the moment we have reached the end of this video, remember that soon we will have the full review available so you can get to know it in more depth. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you know you can let us know and see you next time.